most experienced CFL quarterback they have, and they want to have him ready.
Pooching this kick this time and running into the wall. Up near the 52-yard line. So Alex Brink, who technically on the depth chart is the third-string quarterback. Tanner Marsh will do the short yardage stuff. But Brink, as you mentioned, has played much more in the Canadian Football League, in fact, than Troy Smith and Tanner Marsh combined.
Yeah, Alex Brink, best known for his stint with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, a handful of starts in his career, and a guy that, in my opinion, is maybe not a CFL starter, but a guy who is a serviceable CFL quarterback. And with Troy Smith struggling, maybe the Alouettes' best option at this point.
So a different look now. First play, second quarter. Brandon Whitaker dodges one. Alex Brink spent 3 seasons with the Blue Bombers, the former quarterback out of Washington State. Placing Buck Pierce when Pierce went down. He has 13 touchdowns, but here's the other one. 13 interceptions.
And one of the things for Alex Brink, a little bit of a victim of circumstances during his time in Winnipeg, where it was a challenging situation, became something of a revolving door, particularly in that 2012 season in Winnipeg. Buck Pierce battled some injuries and so on.
Catch is made by Dave Stala. Stala drawing into the lineup. Brandon London not in tonight. Stala gets the inside position on that defender and brings the ball up near the 43-yard line. Gain of 13 on the play.
Alex Brink delivering the rock, getting pretty good protection from that offensive line. And for Alex Brink, this could be exactly the opportunity he's been looking for a couple of years since being released by the Blue Bombers.
Eric Delorier and Kenny Stafford in motion. The ball goes out to Stafford. Stafford brought down there by Brendan Smith. Took a swipe at him. Stafford could not keep his footing. A loss of 2 on the play.
And taking nothing away from Kenny Stafford, it probably speaks volumes about the Montreal Alouettes offense and the state of this team, whether it be injuries or performance, that Kenny Stafford is the only Alouette receiver to have caught a pass in every game for them this season. This is a team with, again, guys like Duron Carter, S.J. Green, Brandon London.
Second and 12. Brink. Into traffic. Jermaine Gabriel blanketing Eric Delorier. Gabriel wants the interference call.
He's lobbying for the call here, saying that with that ball in the air, he's got a right to get to it, and that Delorier is impeding him from getting to the football. Gabriel, the second-year man, and a free safety. Bottom middle of your screen picks up that route.
And a challenge flag has been thrown. Tom Higgins, obviously, Scott Milanovich just saw the replays. Milanovich, who is not afraid to throw that yellow challenge flag, by the way. He does, and so they will look at this. Interference, pass interference can be challenged.
I think
Tom Higgins threw the flag down. He wanted interference on Delorier.
Montreal is challenging that there is defensive pass interference. We'll review the play.
DPI, defensive pass interference, again, can be challenged.
And we'll take another look here, see if there's a grab at all. Gabriel got his right hand. He got on the shoulder of Delorier as he's trying to fight through that football.
This is a tough call. The arms were interlocked.
They watch the right arm of Gabriel. Little tug on the shoulder pads there.
Had his hand on him earlier as well. For this week, there were 25 challenges, 9 overturned. Of the 25, 10 were defensive pass interference challenges, and there were only 2 changes made. Tom Higgins has thrown the challenge.
And bear in mind, Tom Higgins, the former director of officiating for the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, he knows the rules pretty well, that guy. Here's Tom Valesi again. Let's find out.
After review, there's not enough visual evidence to overturn the call. The ruling on the field stands. Third down.
Crowd doesn't like it. Jermaine Gabriel thought that maybe even he was interfered with.
Yeah, but again, it's not convincing to me. And Delorier's trying to reach back with that left hand. I don't think that Gabriel's ever grabbing onto him. I mean, he's trying to get to the football too. You can interpret it however you want. Again, it's always going to be a judgment call on pass interference, but I like the decision. Let him play football.
Sean White looking to angle. And once again, will find the end zone. Wanted to get it inside that 10-yard line, but for the second time tonight, will get a single, making it a 2-point game. The 3-pick overall in the 2014 draft out of the University of Manitoba. We'll be seeing a lot of Anthony Coombs here. CFL Fantasy is now a reality. Go to tsn.ca/CFL Fantasy to set your roster for a chance to win a trip to the 102nd Grey Cup and a beautiful Joseph Abboud suit from Moores. Every pick counts. Make yours today. 5-3 game here. Montreal. Difference a couple of singles. Ricky Ray, 3 of 6 for 48 yards. Crowd into it now has to change the play. Play clock winding down. Sends him out. Here comes the blitz. And could not find Jared Faison. We had a penalty flag on the play as well. Ricky Ray saw the way they were lining up.
Yep, they had the blitz all keyed up there.
Pass interference. Montreal number 7. 10-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
John Bowman flagged for interference.
Well, what John Bowman does here is what we'll call a veteran move. He's the defensive end towards the right side of your screen. He recognized that this is going to be a screen-type play. He sees Faison trying to sneak out into the flat and grabs him, and oftentimes that's not detected. That time it was.
Incomplete pass, looking for Darvin Adams. Great blocking that time by Steve Slayton on that play. Staying in is, again, the Alouettes loading the box. This is what this team does. They'll load it up and they come at you hard.
Absolutely. And Scott Milanovic talked a little bit about it yesterday. The heat that these guys will bring. You'll so often, I mean, you'll see it at 5 or 6 is a given.
Yeah.
And the number of guys coming after your quarterback only goes up from there.
Defensive coordinator Noel Thorpe on the job. Here they come again. Ray now, a little touch pass, and it's caught for Maurice Mann. Beautiful over-the-shoulder grab up near the 40-yard line. A pickup of 25 yards. Biggest play in the ball game so far.
Yeah, a couple former Hamilton Tiger Cats doing battle here. Tisdale and Mann. I love the way Maurice Mann tracks that ball over his shoulder. Eyes to the ball the whole way, sort of fading away from it. Terrific adjustment with that ball in the air.
31-year-old Maurice Mann. His connection with Ricky Ray back to Edmonton, played in Hamilton, Toronto when the Grey Cup, did not play last year. Play action again, and Adams fumbled the football. Gerald Brown scoops it up. And turnovers that plagued the Argos last week in Regina surface early on here tonight. The Argos have fumbled the football more than any other team in the league. They're 9th on the season. Montreal Alouettes may not score a lot of points or put yards up on the board offensively, but their defense is astounding at times, including ball hawk Billy Parker.
Yeah, Parker does a nice job to get his left hand on the football there. as Darvin Adams tried to cut it back on him, but nice reaction to go for the ball as he was overrunning that play.
And the Argos, their takeaway giveaway ratio, worst in the CFL, continues here tonight. First turnover of the ball game. Brandon Whitaker left side.
And Brandon Whitaker, we've said it from the time this season has started, this is a guy who can't be involved enough in the Montreal Alouettes offense as far as I'm concerned in order for this team to be successful. Keep feeding them the rock, whether by land or by air. A dangerous weapon, the guy who makes any quarterback's job easier. 7 carries for him so far, 25 yards on the ground.
2nd and 5. Brink. Quick hitter, one-handed catch. Kenny Stafford hauls it in and lunges forward. They mark him out of bounds, though, about 1.5 yards shy. They say he tight-roped the sidelines and got too close over there. The lunge did not help. He was out of bounds.
Well, it's a nice run after the catch there, but the play starts with this guy, Brandon Whitaker. Again, watch him step up to pick up the blitz from the middle linebacker, Greg Jones. Stuffs him in the hole. That's what allows that play to happen.
Great call there on the sideline. Let's try to firm up the spot. It's going to be 3rd down, and it's almost 2 yards. It's 1.5 yards. Stafford and Dwight Anderson chatting. Dwight Anderson's always chatting. DA.
And he insists it's not as bad as we all assume either. Generally a pretty jovial guy.
Guy, of course, who was in Calgary and Saskatchewan and here in Montreal. Guy who has a reputation for being a great teammate.
And that is the word you get from all those who have played with him. A guy who loves to play. That's how Scott Milanovich describes him, and Milanovich and Anderson had crossed paths here in Montreal. Milanovich said he enjoyed having him on the team, and had no hesitation bringing him into Toronto when they were looking for some experience in that secondary.
Of course, for Scott Milanovich, this is really where it was all forged. Again, had some time in Calgary, but mostly his time in Montreal and this organization, which allowed him to carve his path to become a head coach.
And he expressed his gratitude again yesterday for the opportunity he was given by Jim Popp and Mark Trestman.
Here's Tanner Marsh. There's a penalty flag.
Too many men.
Too many men, and so
Too many men in the huddle. Montreal, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That makes this moot. They'll bring out Sean White. It was a stretch anyways, 3rd and 2. But still, too many men, and the Alouettes have put up too many penalties tonight. So White will boot. Brendan Smith is back to return. Former Georgia Bulldog. Low snap. High kick at the 20. And downfield quickly. Dominic Ellis makes the special teams tackle. The reigning defensive player of the year, Chip Cox, brings his defense back on the field in a tight one here. Welcome back to Montreal, where it used to be known as the Chip and Shea show at linebacker for the Alouettes.
Yeah, we're used to seeing those two guys side by side, but not used to seeing them wear different colors. And here's the damage they inflicted on opposing offenses in 6 seasons as teammates in Montreal. Emery, the middle linebacker, Cox playing on the strong side.
Steve Slayton driven back by Brian Burkowski. Well, the old teammates are back together tonight, and Shea Emery has a lot of respect for that guy.
I mean, Chip was a big part of that best linebacking crew. You know, he's a special athlete. He's one of the best in the league by far, and I was excited to play against him or play with him all the time because, you know, I knew if I would miss the tackle, Chip's going to be able to run him down. So it doesn't really make a difference what I do.
A pretty good duo. Shea didn't miss a lot.
2nd and 14, another loss and another knockdown from Ricky Ray. 3 knockdowns so far.
Yeah, that Alouette defensive line doing a nice job getting their hands up, getting into those passing lanes.
Former Calgary Dino Michael Clausen in there.
Clausen, what a great pick he was for the Montreal Alouettes last season from the UFC Dinos. Late rounder. I mean, this is, to me, is a starting caliber player, overshadowed at UFC by his teammate Lyndon Gaydosh. Now with the Carolina Panthers.
Swayze Waters boot. Look at this thing. Big kick. Down to the 30-yard line. And there's Shea coming out now. Wearing that familiar number.
Memories for Emery in Montreal.
They had the mutton shops going back then, too. On the 2010 Grey Cup. Part of the Trestman legacy here. East Division Most Outstanding Canadian in 2012. He was the Jake Gadar Award winner last year, an award that goes to those who help a lot of the military and service people throughout, do some work with them across our country. 2-point game still. Defenses rising up, and they do again. Break is hit. Dave Stala caught it on one hop. Stala says, I caught it. Challenge it. Did he? I'll tell you what, if Dave Stala's saying that, he remember what his nickname is. Sticky. He's saying he caught it.
I'd give the credit to Ivan Brown.
You know what? Sticky did.
He got his hands under it. It looked to me like there's, if you look very closely, maybe a little bounce in there, and we'll try to get in a little bit tighter here.
Well, there's no challenge flag, so maybe you're right. Like just a little hop.
Yeah, it looked like the tip of that football hit between his hands.
It's a good pass this time, no doubt about it, to Dave Stala. His career began here, the former St. Mary's Husky, and then went to Hamilton, where he had some banner years, and then kind of was a forgotten soldier the last couple of seasons for the Tiger Cats.
And happy to be back here in Montreal, providing some depth and veteran presence to this receiving corps. The guy who early in his career established himself. What the Owls thought was going to be sort of the heir apparent to Ben Cahoon as their go-to Canadian receiver. Injuries, foot injury caught up to him.
Play action, Larry Taylor gobbled up. Jamie Robinson, Florida State linebacker. Pick up maybe a yard and a half. Well, the Argos are getting it done defensively, but clearly offense is the issue right now with their stars out. They've only put 3 points up on the board and were throttled last week in Saskatchewan, 37-9. Clicking down to 6 minutes remain before halftime. Brink sends them out. Goes vertical for Jerron Carter. Knocked down by Jalil Carter. Carter on Carter down there. And Jerron maybe tried to sell that one a little bit. But that